Welcome to another Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is my second game of the day, in which I previously recorded the Milwaukee Bucks sweeping the Miami Heat earlier today. They now wait for the Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets to finish up before they get their second round matchup. The Philadelphia 76ers matchup in Game 3 against the Washington Wizards. They took a 2-0 lead earlier this week, a game in which they thoroughly dominated, but the game was marred by a completely despicable Philadelphia 76er fan that poured popcorn on Russell Westbrook as he left the game early in the fourth quarter due to a sprained ankle. That fan was indefinitely uh, banned from the arena from for the Philadelphia 76ers, and it coincided with bad fan management in Madison Square Garden, as a fan of the Knicks spit in Trey Young's direction in Game 2 against the Atlanta Hawks. Also, there was bad fan behavior in Utah, in which a couple of fans were banned indefinitely for some comments they made towards John Morant's family. So over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of conversation in regards to fan behavior in arenas and in sporting events in general. Uh, Something that has to be addressed going forward. Uh, Unfortunately, it marred a virtuoso performance from the Philadelphia 76ers as they look to move to the second round and really continue on their way towards the NBA championship. The number one seed in the East is battling against a Wizards team that has had to overcome so much just to get to the uh, eighth seed. This is a Wizards team that was 17-32 as early as April, and then they went on a magnificent run led by Russell Westbrook, a healthy Russell Westbrook, en route to breaking a all-time record for triple doubles. Bradley Beal finished the season second in scoring behind Steph Curry, and this Wizards team was able to develop and really emphasize roles a lot easier because Westbrook was able to be at his optimal level. This is the Sixers team that has been running on all cylinders since Doc Rivers came over in the offseason. Previously coached the Los Angeles Clippers, the Orlando Magic, the Boston Celtics. He's a champion in 2008. This is a coach that put himself in position year after year. He's known as one of the magnificent leaders in this league. And I think for him, he brought a sense of accountability to this very talented Sixers team led by Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I think for Doc Rivers, more than anything that he has done in terms of bringing in Steph Curry, in terms of motivating and getting the best out of Tobias Harris, he has motivated Joel Embiid to be dominant every single night that he is on the floor. Of course, he's going to battle some injuries every now and then, but I think more than anything else, every time Joel Embiid has played this season, he's looked to dominate, he's looked to be consistent, and he's put himself in position for the MVP conversation. Because he's missed so many games, he won't be the MVP this year, but it's not for lack of performance or trying. With that said, he missed games, but the Sixers still clinched the number one seed relatively easy, and they look to take a 3-0 lead on a Wizards team that, in my opinion, is just a bit overmatched. Yes, Westbrook and Bill are magnificent, but they're very young in all other areas of the game, and because of that, so much pressure is going to be put on a Westbrook and a Bradley Bill to have to be virtually perfect every single night. Westbrook just missed a jumper, but Davis Bertans, who was inserted into the starting lineup tonight, he's had some struggles so far this series. He's starting. He gets a steal, gets it to Westbrook, who looks to find Bradley Beal open in the corner for a three. He's unable to knock it down, but Ben Simmons gets the rebound and pushes full court. Is able to get another basket inside. He already has 5 of the Sixers' 10 points. Sixers lead 10-6 early in the first quarter. Rui Hachimura, the second-year player out of Gonzaga, very versatile in how Washington uses him. Um, Russell Westbrook took an initiative to try to get the most out of Hachimura. He misses the layup. Sixers look to push offensively, and Ben Simmons gets another slam at the basket, set up perfectly by Seth Curry. And this Philadelphia 76ers team takes a two-possession lead at 12-6 with 8:22 remaining in the first quarter. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back as the Philadelphia 76ers lead the Washington Wizards 12-6. Davis Bertans out of that timeout knocks in a 3-point shot, which is a welcome sight for the Wizards, who have been desperately needing Davis Bertans to get into his shooting pocket, because without his shooting, this Wizards team is devoid of any touch in regards to shooting whatsoever. Turnover for the Wizards leads to a Danny Green three from the right wing, and he's unable to knock it down. Westbrook mid-range jumper gets it to fall. That's his first basket of the game. So that's a good sight to see for the Wizards. The Sixers, on the other hand, have gotten a dominant performance so far from Ben Simmons. Tobias Harris looks to get a floater inside. It rolls off the rim. Rui Hachimura wasn't quite able to corral that rebound, so possession will stay with the Sixers. But if you're the Sixers, you got to continue to play the way you're playing. The Wizards aren't putting much pressure on you defensively. The Sixers have been able to execute at will. And as I say that, Seth Curry knocks in a 3-point shot set up by Ben Simmons off of the inbound. Simmons in the series is averaging a triple-double. In the first game, he had 6 points. Obviously, everyone wants to talk about the points, but he also had 15 rebounds and 15 assists. In game two, Simmons had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he's been able to impact the game on all levels. And as I say that, he sets up Seth Curry from on the opposite corner in the left corner for another three. So the three-point line has been something that the Sixers have been able to use throughout this season when they've been healthy. Seth Curry provides some shooting and spacing for this team that they've really had over the years. I know many people like to point to J.J. Redick's years as well with the Sixers, but Seth Curry, Danny Green, along with Tobias Harris, has provided the best spacing for this Sixers team in quite a while. Russell Westbrook almost baited into taking a three by Ben Simmons. Instead, he sets up Bradley Beal for three. Unable to knock that down, Ben Simmons gets the rebound, sets up Danny Green on the right wing for three. He knocks it down. So already the Sixers have opened up a double-digit lead, 21-11. 6:09 left in the first. Again, the Sixers have been able to execute at will. A lot of that has been on the shoulders of Ben Simmons so far in this first round. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back. The 76ers are on a 9-0 run over the last 1 minute and 37 seconds. They lead the Wizards 21-11. Daniel Gafford comes into the game off the bench to provide some energy and scoring inside. He gets a floater for the Wizards. Danny Green looks to knock down a three. He misses, but gets his own rebound, gets it to Tobias Harris for another three. So far in this game, the Sixers have knocked down 6 3-pointers here in this first quarter, 24-13. They lead, 4 3-pointers, 4 of 8 from three. The Wizards are 1 of 6 from three. Ish Smith shooting the three from the right corner, unable to knock it down, rebounded by Joel Embiid. Seth Curry on the left wing, he's knocked down 2 3-pointers here for the Sixers. Gets it to Embiid, 3-point shot at the top of the key is good. So the Sixers are already up 14 with 5 minutes to play here in the first, 27-13. They lead the Washington Wizards. Joel Embiid gets the steal as Ish Smith looks to set up Gafford inside, and Simmons looks to set up Embiid, flashing down the lane for a layup. He's fouled by Ish Smith. So the 76ers, again, running on all cylinders. Nothing is really impeding them in terms of how they want to run their offense. They're able to get fluid passing. They're pushing the pace when the turnovers are there. If not, they get the rebound and run. And right now, Washington, who's devoid of any shooting this season, hasn't been able to knock down anything or hasn't put the Sixers in a position to have to be or respect their outside shooting. Uh, Embiid goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. This is a guy who has averaged just under 30 points per game this season at 29.6. He's a free throw shooter extraordinaire in terms of getting attempts. He averages 11 free throws per game. And when you look at what that does for this Sixer team, especially when they go through droughts offensively, you can dump it into Embiid and get an opportunity to score. Even if you're not getting field goals, getting to the free throw line allows for players to get rhythm, and Embiid, who is very, very versatile on how he likes to score, whether it be out of the post, mid range, or even stretching the defense to shoot threes. Seeing that ball go in the basket as frequently as it does for him puts the Sixers in position to always get points. Turnover by Ben Simmons leads to a foul, so we'll just have the basketball. 4:30 remaining here in the first quarter. He's looking to attack Joel Embiid, and he is fouled by Embiid. Again, Bradley Beal, second in the league in scoring, falling just short uh, behind Steph Curry. Beal actually had the lead for the majority of the season in terms of scoring, but towards the end of the season, Beal had dealt with some lingering injuries that forced him to miss some games, and that is when Steph Curry went on a magnificent stretch. Uh, had 12 straight games of 30 points or more, including 49 points against Philadelphia, that really, really put him in position to solidify that scoring lead. And then towards the end of the season, they went game for game in which Bradley Beal scored 50 in a game against Indiana, a much needed game that the Wizards needed in terms of setting up playing position. He scored 50, didn't even finish the game, but in scoring at 50 later that night, uh, Steph Curry scored 24 points in the first quarter on his way to 49 points, and that solidified Steph Curry in scoring lead for the rest of the season. But both went toe to toe in scoring throughout the year. Ben Simmons trying to work the left baseline, kicks it to Embiid. Embiid thought about a three, instead drives and kicks it to Matisse Thybulle for three. He misses it off of the right side of the backboard. Matisse Thybulle, known as one of the best defenders in this league, despite playing in limited minutes. The Sixers are desperately trying to turn him into a 3-and-D guy, but his shooting comes and goes. Nevertheless, again, he's one of the best defenders in this league, bar none, despite limited time. Ben Simmons tries to get a floater over Bradley Beal out of the post, unable to knock it down. Ish Smith looking to get inside, very, very crafty, sets up Daniel Gafford. Gafford couldn't knock that down. But the move from Ish Smith is the epitome of his game. He's very, very crafty. Not the fastest, but very quick inside. And his herky-jerky game definitely keeps defenses off balance. Embiid at the top of the key gets a great setup from Seth Curry, but the three is evading Embiid right now. He's missed his last couple of shots from three. This sets up a Euro step from Bradley Beal to get inside and get the finish. And right now, the Wizards trying to build some momentum. 2:50 left in the first. They trail Philadelphia 30-20. The Sixers have been on a magnificent run offensively, but they've gone through quite a drought. Doc Rivers wants to slow things down, reorganize the team. So we'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back as the Sixers lead the Wizards 30-20. The Sixers shooting 12 of 21 from the floor. The Wizards shooting 9 of 20. The difference has been from the three-point line, where the Sixers have knocked down uh, 4 3-pointers so far. They've been able to really put pressure on the Wizards, especially off of misses or turnovers, and gotten 2 3-pointers from Steph Curry. They've also gotten 3-pointers from Embiid and pardon me, I said 4 threes. They hit 5 threes. This is a Wizards team that definitely is devoid of shooting. I mentioned that ad nauseum, but they have battled all year, and they've been led by uh, Russell Westbrook and and Bradley Beal. This is a young Wizards team, and because they have the firepower in the backcourt of Beal and Westbrook, they definitely had to carry a very strong burden, a very heavy burden. But with winning has lended itself to more confidence, and this is a team that's battled, come back from multiple deficits towards the end of the season to put themselves in position to get this eighth spot. So this is a Sixers team that can't take this Wizards team lightly despite their struggles. Dwight Howard into the game, along with Furkan Korkmaz and recent addition George Hill. Hill sets up Howard inside. Howard is fouled. Howard, coming off of a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers last year, he definitely provided uh, a presence defensively. He was an irritant. He was a beast on the boards, especially on the offensive glass. And again, as an irritant, he has played against multiple bigs, got under their skin, and really utilized that role in his later years, coming off of a Hall of Fame worthy career with the Orlando Magic, 8-time All NBA, 8-time All Star, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, a player that first ballot Hall of Famer hands down. Since his time with the Magic, though, he's been a relative journeyman who couldn't quite find his way on certain teams because of ego or just really not really fitting in with certain teams despite what he initially thought he would. But in his last two stops with the Lakers and the Sixers, he's known what he has understood and known what his role would be, and he's embraced it at a high level in limited minutes. And now he's in a position to potentially win his second championship if this Sixers team can get to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe battle one of those tough teams in Milwaukee or Brooklyn if they uh if they advance that far. Gafford is fouled inside by Dwight Howard, so he'll go to the free throw line. Daniel Gafford has been a great addition to this Washington Wizards team, coming over in a trade with the Chicago Bulls. Gafford in year two really is comfortable with this Wizards team because he's able to be a rim runner, a lob threat, and just make big athletic plays in terms of blocking shots and getting out and running. Being right next to Russell Westbrook, especially a Westbrook that likes to run and set up others, he fits perfect. Furkan Korkmaz trying to get it to Dwight Howard. He's fouled. So it's a 10-point game. Dwight Howard will go to the free throw line. Howard, historically a bad free throw shooter. But back to Gafford. Gafford's presence has definitely lended itself to versatility for Scott Brooks in terms of how he uses his centers. He uses a three-headed attack at the center position. Gafford, along with Robin Lopez and Alex Lynn, have definitely provided mismatches along the way. And for Gafford, even though he plays in limited minutes, he is all out all the time. And I think for Scott Brooks, especially with this young team that might need a boost energy wise every now and then to complement the likes of Russell Westbrook, who goes all out every single time he's on the floor. When you have a Daniel Gafford next to him, when you have Daniel Gafford running and setting picks for Bradley Beal, then he's going to fit in seamlessly. And as I say that, Raul Neto misses a floater inside. Who gets the offensive rebound? Daniel Gafford. So that putback, providing that energy, is something that this Wizards team needs if they're going to get back into this series. Tyrese Maxey, rookie guard out of Kentucky, misses the mid-range jumper. Ish Smith gets the rebound, looks to push. Finds Raul Neto for three. He misses it off the right wing, rebounded by Korkmaz. So the Wizards looking to get out and run and increase the pace. They actually have the fastest pace in the NBA, despite having a negative differential in points allowed. But with that said, though, because they have the fastest pace in the NBA, they get the opportunity to get easy baskets when you are devoid of shooting. You need baskets at the rim. You need early offense so that half court defenses don't lock you in. Matisse Thybulle is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for two as the Wizards are over the penalty. He's the first player in NBA history with 4 blocks and 4 steals in less than 20 minutes. in his previous game against the Wizards in Game 2. Westbrook looking to get it ahead to Davis Bertans, who desperately needed a basket. He finds him uh, streaking down the lane for an easy layup. So it's an 8-point game. Wizards trail 36-28. Here at home, George Hill looking to work the baseline, tried to kick it out to Max. He is stolen once again by Ish Smith. So the shot clock is off. Russell Westbrook with the basketball. Again, Westbrook dealing with some lingering ankle injuries that forced him to leave the game early in Game 2. He's playing available and looking to give this Wizards team any type of extra push they need to try to stay in the series. He kicks it out to Bertans for three. Bertans misses it at the buzzer. He's contesting that he was fouled on that shot. Refs don't agree. So we'll be back with more as the Sixers look to take a commanding 3-0 lead in their first round series against the Wizards. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter where the Philadelphia 76ers lead the Washington Wizards 36-28. Tobias Harris looking to get a floater inside and it rolls around the rim and in again. The three-point line has been the saving grace for the Sixers in that first quarter, 4 of 11, where the Wizards are just 1 of 9. That has really been the separation. There's been turnovers both ways as the pace of this series it really favors both teams in the style of play that they have. One having a point guard in Russell Westbrook, and another team and the other team having the point guard in Ben Simmons. Both guards not known as shooters. They favor pushing the pace and getting easy opportunities for their teammates. As I say that though, Russell Westbrook never want to shy away from any challenge. Shoots a three from the left corner and knocks it down, cutting the Wizards deficit from 10-7. But historically, though, Westbrook is one of the worst shooting three-point shooters in NBA history. The Sixers, though, have tried to complement Ben Simmons' lack of shooting or willingness to shoot by putting shooters around that will be set up by him. Um, Sixers able to get a basket from Matisse Thybulle. Thybulle, a bad three-point shooter in his own right, misses a three. So Wizards trail by 9. Westbrook looking to push the pace, gets a layup inside, draws the foul on George Hill. So it'll be an and-one opportunity for Westbrook, who historically had been a good free throw shooter throughout his career. In his career, he's shooting 79%, but that has dropped drastically over the last 4 years. This season, he's shooting 65%. Uh, Over the last 3 years, he's just his free throw shooting has dropped to horrendous levels compared to where he was in his first 9 years of his career, where he was routinely in the low to mid 80s from the free throw line. In this game so far, Westbrook 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. He completes the M1. Westbrook, as I mentioned earlier, broke Oscar Robertson's all-time lead in triple doubles. He averaged a triple double for the 4th time in 5 seasons. Just a complete virtuoso in terms of all-around play. A lot of people speak about his inefficiency and decision making at times, and that's par for the course. And he is deservedly so in terms of how he's played at times, but you also have to commend his effort every single night, and the ferocity with which he plays permeates throughout every single team he plays for. And because he plays so hard, you're never going to quit, as evidenced by being 17-32. The Washington Wizards could have easily nailed it in and looked for opportunities to trade Bradley Beal for assets going forward, but they didn't nail it in. They worked and worked and worked behind the effort of Westbrook and Bradley Beal to put themselves in position to battle, regardless of what the standings may say. Offensive foul called against Dwight Howard. He's called on a moving screen. Raul Neto took the brunt of that punishment there. So to be a turnover on the Sixers, I mentioned, the pace of this game favors both teams. Turnovers have gone both ways. The Sixers, though, have been able to knock down three-pointers at a high clip. Raul Neto misses the layup, but Russell Westbrook is there for the putback. Westbrook might be on his way to a triple-double tonight. Already with 10 points, 8 in this quarter, and he's been able to crash the glass and get the Wizards opportunities at the rim. Ben Simmons had a big first quarter, looking to attack Robin Lopez. He finishes with the left hand. 6-point lead for the Sixers, 42-36. Westbrook crossover dribble on Danny Green, kicks it out to Neto. Neto for three, misses it off the back rim. Lopez and Howard are fighting for the rebound. We got a foul that will go against. Will that go against Dwight Howard or Lopez? Both were jockeying for position on that rebound. And it looks as if Howard gets another foul. We look at this as Lopez is boxing out. It just looks like Lopez is falling, but the clumsiness worked in his favor as he was able to take Howard down and kind of hold them, make it look like Howard is actually pulling him down. But those two guys, very, very similar in the areas that they play on the floor. The physicality from Howard usually works in his favor, but at times the referees definitely get him for ticky-tack fouls that forces him to go to the bench. So we got a 4-point game now as Bradley Beal knocks in a mid-range jumper. So the rhythm for the Wizards is starting to be there. Bradley Beal, 9 points, 4 of 7 from the floor, 2 rebounds. Seth Curry looking for Ben Simmons inside. The mismatch with Russell Westbrook is there. Ben Simmons does not falter as he knocks in the mid-range. Simmons tonight, 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 assists. He has 10 points. Joel Embiid on the post against Robin Lopez. Advantage Embiid. Step back jumper, good. So the game got as close as 4 a minute ago, but 2 quick baskets from Philadelphia gets the lead back up to 8. Timeout Scott Brooks, 7:53 left here in the first half. Sixers lead the Wizards 46-38. Welcome back. 7:45 left here in the first half between the Philadelphia 76ers and Washington Wizards. Sixers lead 46-38. Bradley Beal off the spin, working the right sideline. Initially going left, spins back right for a beautiful floater off the right block. Beal now with 11 points. And Embiid looking to attack Robin Lopez. Very aggressive, working the left block. Finishes over Lopez. Russell Westbrook was looking for offensive foul, but refs didn't fall for the flopping. Davis Bertans fouled on a 3, set up there by Westbrook. And those are the type of things that Davis Bertans has to provide for this team. The shooting threat has to be there. This is a player who recently signed a 4-year, $80 million extension with the Wizards, and he just hasn't lived up to that billing under pressure. Obviously, expectations change once you bring Russell Westbrook onto your team. You have playoff expectations, and because he's really the only floor spacer that they have, a lot of that burden to knock down the 3 always falls on him. But again, he has to constantly be looking to shoot, constantly be looking to provide that marksmanship that can open things up for the likes of a Westbrook, a Beal, even a Ish Smith who likes to probe and get into the paint as well. The Wizards have dealt with injuries throughout the season, season-ending injuries. Thomas Bryant, the promising young power forward, who definitely played well with Westbrook prior to his ACL injury, went down for the year back in January. Denny Avdia, a young player, really provided some shooting and some toughness as well, especially as the season grew for the rookie. He had a knee injury that will sideline him for the rest of the year. So the Wizards have dealt with injuries throughout the year, but still found a way to get into the playoffs. Rui Hachimura knocks in a 3-pointer from the right corner to cut the Sixers' lead from 8 to 5, 51-46. Joel Embiid looking to respond, knocks it down from the top of the key. Prior to that 3 from Embiid, a 3-pointer from Danny Green was knocked down as well. Westbrook looking to get into the paint, cut off by Danny Green. Westbrook looking to find Lopez inside, and he's fouled. He's fouled by Danny Green. Green probably shouldn't have reached in there. It looked as if Lopez was gonna fumble that pass either way. But we look at the three from Embiid. Embiid already had knocked down a three earlier. This is his second three so far in the game. One thing about Embiid, I mentioned his versatility. He can score from virtually anywhere on the floor. The three-point shooting, though, has to constantly be monitored because while he can do it, you don't want to see him do it too much. You want to see him do it within the rhythm of the offense. And as I said, that Russell Westbrook takes a horrible three. He misses it. It goes off the left side of the backboard, rebounded by Tobias Harris. Harris looking to find Embiid at the top of the key, and Embiid is called for the travel as he couldn't quite establish himself before he drove. So that'll be a travel. 5:40 remaining here in the first half. As well, the Sixers have shot extremely well, shooting 57% from the field, shooting 43% from 3, 6 of 14. One of their issues so far tonight has been turnovers. They already have 6 turnovers here in the first half. Bradley Beal looking to drive baseline. He was there, but Embiid uh, was the anchor that made him kick it out to Westbrook. Westbrook instead goes to Brook Lopez inside, who gets one of those crafty hook shots he constantly knocks down. While no one will look at Robin Lopez as an offensive dynamo out of the paint, he definitely has moves that provide an outlet for Russell Westbrook or Bradley Beal if they need a dump off pass inside. Joel Embiid scores very quickly, looking to respond is Bradley Beal. So back and forth we go. It's back to a 6-point game, 56-50. Danny Green for 3, knocks it down. So the pressure from the Wizards is just not there on the perimeter. They're not fighting over the screens, and by doing so, or by their lack of doing so, it's allowed the 76ers to just really be in rhythm offensively. Bradley Beal looks to respond for a 3 of his own. He misses it off the left wing, rebounded by Harris. Tobias Harris had 37 points going back to that game 1, in which he had 28 points in the first half, really in a magnificent rhythm. And Tobias finds Danny Green once again for another 3. So Danny Green's got it going from the outside, something that the Sixers definitely want to see from him, especially as this postseason goes along. That's the 4th 3 for Danny Green. He has 12 points here in the first half. Russell Westbrook misses a layup that's tipped out to Danny Green. Green for 3. He airmails that. Couldn't quite touch the rim there. That was a heat check. But the rebound wasn't corralled by the Wizards, so possession will stay with the Sixers. It'll be a timeout on the floor. Sixers in control, 62-50. They've got magnificent shooting all around the floor. 3:56 remaining in the first half. Sixers up 12 over the Wizards. We're back as the Sixers lead the Washington Wizards. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. 62-50. The Sixers lead the Wizards. Wizards shooting 3 of 15 from 3. Joel Embiid out of the timeout. Great move off of the right block. Able to get the mismatch with Rui Hachimura. Hachimura couldn't contest it because of the size mismatch of Embiid. Able to get the timely fadeaway to fall. Sixers trap Bradley Beal in the right corner, but they're working around Rui Hachimura. He steps into the 3 with confidence and knocks it down. Great ball movement there from Russell Westbrook to find Hachimura. Hachimura, again, a second-year player, still trying to develop his confidence. Again, Westbrook trying to put the battery in his bag, instill that confidence in him, help him be aggressive and be that third option for this Wizards team. He's been inconsistent at times. He's shown flashes of what he can be, but again, it has to do with the confidence. Westbrook off the glass, he's able to knock in the jumper, so it's back to a 9-point game, 64-55. The Wizards are hanging around. I mentioned earlier that this Wizards team has a lot of fight in them. They have overcome large deficits over the last couple of months to really put themselves in position to be the 8th seed. And B tried to slam it home over Rui Hachimura and Daniel Gafford, but it goes off the back rim. That would have took the house down. We look at the pump fake set up perfectly by Seth Curry. The pump fake was there, took it 2 foot gather. He wasn't able to knock it down. 1-2, went straight up, and he just missed it too hard off the back rim. So that'll be a turnover. Westbrook on the left wing. He recently just knocked down a mid-range shot off the glass. He comes right back to it, shoots it over Danny Green, and we got a 7-point game, 64-57. We approach 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Sixers have been in control virtually into the entire half, but Wizards hanging around the pace favors them. Embiid working at left corner, kicks it to Danny Green, pump fake, 3-point shot, good. Danny Green is on fire here in this first half. 5 3-pointers for him, 15 points, Sixers up 10. As Westbrook looks to set up Bradley Beal. It's deflected into the backcourt. Beal, 12 on the shot clock, stops on a dime, spins, goes off the glass, can't get it to fall, rebound, a tough rebound inside by Tobias Harris. Harris, crossover on Westbrook, kicks it to Steph Curry on the left wing, guarded by Bertans. And B trying to slam it home from the other side, able to take the 2-foot gather, go straight up, finish with the tomahawk slam. And there's a Sixers contingency that has traveled to Washington. And although this is a home game for the Wizards, the Sixers contingency roared in loud applause for Embiid, able to finish on the left side this time as opposed to missing on the right side. So I think for Embiid, he definitely wanted to send a message. On that first dunk, missed it too hard, but he comes right back and is able to get a 3-point opportunity. .110 left here in the first half, 69-57. If you're Joel Embiid, this MVP campaign gives you all the confidence in the world that you can do this for an extended period of time, maybe a 5-6 year run of just peak dominance. If he plays at this level, this Sixers team will always have a chance to win. The difference now, I think more so than anything, as I mentioned earlier, is the motivational factor from Doc Rivers to put him in position to have to be that every single night, hold him accountable for that. Years prior, he was off and on. The talent was always there as Ben Simmons looks to probe the paint. We got a loose ball foul against Davis Bertans trying to box out Embiid. But again, when you have the likes of in the talent level that Embiid had, especially with the versatility last year, they brought in Al Horford to sort of be a floor spacer and provide anchor, be provided as an anchor defensively, and just didn't work out between Embiid and Horford in terms of spacing and just touches and things of that nature. It was a disaster before it even started. But when you clear that space, you get Al Horford out of there. He's in Oklahoma City now. Embiid back to his scoring ways, going back to 2019. He averaged 28 points per game. At that time, a career high. This year, coming off of a down year last year, he averaged 23. This year, 29.6. Already with 24 points here in this first half. Very, very dominant, putting the Sixers in position to close out the Washington Wizards. Or should I say take a commanding lead against the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal looks to respond. He draws the foul. He'll be going to the free throw line for 2. We look at the box score for both teams. I mentioned Danny Green's torrid shooting so far, shooting 5 of 8 from 3, 5 of 8 from the floor. So all of his shots have come from the 3-point line. As Bill misses the first free throw, I mentioned Embiid's 24 points, 9 of 13 from the floor. Ben Simmons had a spectacular first quarter. All 10 of his points came in the first quarter. But Simmons tonight, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Also, Seth Curry with 7 points, 3 of 5 from the floor. He also hit a 3-point shot. For the Wizards, they're led by Russell Westbrook's 14 points, and Bradley Beal, who has 14 as well. Outside of that, the Wizards don't have uh, any other player in double figures. The highest scorers have 8 points, Daniel Gafford and Davis Bertans with 8. Turnover for the Sixers, and this gives the Wizards, or should give the Wizards, final possession. They have Russell Westbrook, so you can't really be too definitive in that assessment. But there's a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Westbrook, guarded by Tobias Harris on the left wing, he's attacking. Embiid kicked it to Alex Len. Len can't finish the layup, and Embiid is fouled by Len with 8/10 of a second left. Just a horrible foul there. Embiid is looking to say he's shooting a three. Nevertheless, he'll shoot 2 free throws. He wanted 3 free throws. They won't give him 3 because it wasn't in a natural shooting motion. But he was fouled by Len in the at the worst time, in the worst possible position to foul. You're almost 94 feet away from the basket, and you foul Embiid, who has been dominating at the free throw line all night. So far tonight at the line, Embiid shooting uh, 3 or 4. Now he misses the first. Um, he's 3 or 4 at the free throw line, 2 of 3 at the line. The Sixers overall 7 of 13 at the free throw line. For the Wizards at the free throw line, 7 of 8. Second free throw good for Embiid. So it's a 14-point game, and we go into the half. Sixers up on the Wizards 72-58. While the game is going back and forth in terms of pace, the Sixers haven't really been in trouble because they have been able to get great three-point shooting as a team. 9 of 19 from the three. The Wizards 4 of 16. Outside of that, the rebounding advantage for the Sixers has been there as well. 26 rebounds compared to 18 for the Wizards. On the assist front, the Wizards have 11 assists compared to the Sixers 18, and the points in the paint is virtually even at 28-26. Sixers hold that advantage as well. The largest lead for the Sixers tonight has been 16, while the Wizards have had a minimal lead of 2. Nevertheless, we'll see what the second half has in store of this Game 3 between the Philadelphia 76ers and Washington Wizards. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to another Game a Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Washington Wizards. As we start the second half, the Philadelphia 76ers lead the Wizards 72-58. And as I say that, Russell Westbrook knocks in a three-point shot to cut the deficit to 11. The Wizards have no answer for Joel Embiid and uh, Ben Simmons inside, as both combined for 14 of 20 from the floor, 35 points combined, 25 for Embiid, 10 for Ben Simmons. Both have been able to attack the Wizards ad nauseum and set up opportunities for their teammates on the outside, where they knocked down threes, 9 of 19 from 3. But the Wizards have opened up, knocking down 2 3-point shots, 2 from Russell Westbrook, who gets his point total up to 20. So to start this second half, Westbrook's come out aggressive and put the Wizards back into the game, where they have been competitive throughout, but they just haven't been able to stop the Sixers defensively. And Joel Embiid knocks down another 3 at the top of the key. That's his third 3-point shot here in this game. 28 points, 10 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3. Westbrook looking to set up Davis Bertans off a curl. He misses a 3, rebounded by Danny Green. Green knocked down 5 3-point shots in that first half, 5 of 8 from the floor. Simmons looking to set up Tobias Harris for 3. He knocks it down. So Simmons now with 8 assists. Tobias Harris has been a magnificent player this season. Borderline all-star. Many believe he could have made it, especially with Doc Rivers coaching and having 2 all-stars already in Ben Simmons and Embiid. But Tobias did not make it. He took it as motivation, though, and has played a phenomenal season. This is a career year for him. Joel Embiid, one leg fadeaway going left able to knock that down. So it's now a 14-point lead, 80-66. Bradley Beal, left corner three, knocks it down. So Bill and Westbrook trying to keep the Wizards in it as best they can defensively. They just do not have answers for the Sixers, but on the offensive end, both are competing at a high level, being efficient and trying to put the Wizards in position to battle at least. Uh, a still attempt by Bradley Beal is deflected out of bounds. So 9 seconds left for the Sixers. 9 seconds left for the Sixers on the shot clock. Simmons with the basketball, dribble handoff to Tobias. 5 on the shot clock. At the top of the key. Good defense from Rui Hachimura. Mid-range jumper is good nonetheless, though, from Tobias Harris. So back up to 13. Sixers in cruise control, not really worried about what the Wizards have to do defensively. For the Wizards, all the pressure is on the offensive end. And while they have played well and shot relatively efficient from the offensive side, shooting 47%, they just can't keep up with the Sixers on their side of the ball. As Tobias gets another basket inside, Tobias now with 14 points. Westbrook trying to get inside, going against Danny Green. Westbrook gets it to Alex Len, who's cut off by Joel Embiid. Offensive rebound for Russell Westbrook, and it's stolen. The fourth steal for Joel Embiid. He gets it to Ben Simmons. Simmons gets it to Harris, who finds Seth Curry in the right corner. The three-point shot is good, and now the Sixers have their largest lead of the game at 18. 87-69, 8:16 left in the third quarter. Russell Westbrook is talking to the ref, wondering where the foul was called or why it wasn't called on the offensive rebound that he had. It was stripped by Embiid. He thought it was in the face. It led to a Seth Curry three, giving the Sixers their largest lead of the game. 87-69. This is a Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as the Philadelphia 76ers take their largest lead of the game prior to that timeout, 87-69. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal have fought to try to keep this game competitive, but again, on the defensive end, it's just but so much the Wizards have been able to do. 62% shooting for the Sixers overall. From three, the Sixers are 12 of 22 compared to 7 of 20 from three, as the Wizards actually came out shooting very, very efficient, led by Westbrook knocking down 2 3-point shots to get this lead of the Sixers down to 8. But again, the Sixers just have been able to get anything they want. Joel Embiid dominating. You get Ben Simmons out running, pushing, putting pressure on the defense. He's finding his shooters in Tobias Harris and Seth Curry. Westbrook guarded by Danny Green. Left corner looking to set up an alley-oop opportunity for Daniel Gafford. Couldn't quite get the shot off, but he catches it, gets it to Hachimura. Hachimura looking for Gafford inside. It's deflected out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Wizards, although it's 9/10 of a second left on the shot clock. Hachimura gets the shot up, and he's able to get it to fall. Wow. He was able to put that up quickly. The score off the inbound cuts the deficit to 16. Simmons not looking to shoot, only looking to get in the paint. Gets it to Embiid. Embiid on the left corner, or left wing, excuse me, works his way to the left corner, kicks it out to Seth Curry. Curry thought about a three. Floater over the top of Hachimura. Can't finish it. Simmons tried to get the tip in. Westbrook is there, and he finds Daniel Gafford for the tough slam. Great pass there from Westbrook on the rope to find Gafford streaking down the lane, and the dunk is there. So it's a 14-point game, 87-73. Embiid thought about a three. Instead, he's directing, looking to clear out space. Wizards looking to send a double team. Embiid finds Danny Green from the left corner. 3-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Hachimura. Westbrook looking to probe. Finds Beal. Beal for three. In and out, no good. Big rebound by Westbrook. Westbrook couldn't get it to fall, though. And Westbrook fouls Tobias Harris in frustration, knowing he couldn't finish that layup. He stops the fast break. But we look at this pass on the rope from Westbrook to Gafford, and that dunk definitely got the Wizards faithful, energized. 6:30 left here in the third quarter. Sixers up 14. Their largest lead was 18 prior to the last timeout. Tobias Harris in the post, going against Hachimura, able to draw the foul. He utilizes the uh, young players' inexperience against him, up fakes, uses some shoulder work, able to get just enough space to force the tough contest, which ended up being some physical contact. And Tobias Harris, who is pretty much a sure as sure of a free throw shooter as there is in this league, goes to the free throw line for two. Harris' first free throw is good as it rattles in. As you see Scott Brooks, who's definitely been through a lot over these last couple of years as the head coach of this Wizards team. There's been ups and downs in regards to health. John Wall was previously here before Westbrook. They had to lose 2 years due to injury for John Wall with an ACL and Achilles injury and a foot injury prior to, and a knee and another knee injury prior to the end of the 2018 season. So that definitely threw a wrench in what the Wizards have been doing over the last 4 seasons. But they get Westbrook. Westbrook has provided a jolt and really put the Wizards in position to be a playoff team. But now with this backcourt, this high-powered backcourt, the Wizards will have questions in regards to what they need to keep around the two and what they need to bring in for this team to be a powerhouse in the East. 16-point game, 89-73. Harris gets it to Embiid. Embiid jab steps at the top of the free throw line against Gafford, works his way down the lane, spins towards the left side of the rim and gets the reverse to fall. Great touch around the rim for Embiid. Bill misses the mid-range shot, couldn't get the finish off of his offensive rebound, but Daniel Gafford is there for the putback opportunity, and he's fouled. So we look at Embiid take Gafford off the dribble, jab step with the right, works his way back left, then goes right, able to utilize exceptional footwork to pirouette around Gafford and finish. So Embiid, 32 points tonight, 12 of 16. Only 6 rebounds, but he hasn't had to really crash the boards too much because Simmons has rebounded well. Tobias Harris has rebounded, and the Sixers have just been able to get out and run at a high level and put themselves in position to be up 17 right now. One thing that these blowout victories can provide for the Sixers is it allows Embiid to rest. One of the things that has always been a cause for concern with him is not just durability, but his ability to endure and play long periods of time. Now, the early rounds where it's relatively easy for the Sixers, you see Embiid playing at his optimal level. But as the series get tougher and he's asked to play longer minutes against tougher competition, he tends to wear down just a bit. So him being in supreme shape is important, but also if you allow this team to rest off of blowout opportunities, then that allows for him to rest and the game be in control. As I say that, Sixers able to get a steal, get out and run. Tobias Harris gets a two-hand slam at 5:15 left in the third. The Wizards have to call another timeout as the Wizards look to be in another blowout. So we'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned. Welcome back as the Sixers lead the Wizards by 20, 95-75. 5 minutes left here in the third. Sixers have just been dominant and efficient. Joel Embiid, 34 points already in 25 minutes, 13 of 17 from the floor, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 of 4 from 3. Outside of Embiid's dominance offensively, the Sixers have gotten great balance from their starting 5, each in double figures. Tobias Harris with 18, 7 of 11 from the floor. Danny Green, 15 points, 5 of 9 from 3. Ben Simmons, 10 points, all in the first quarter, but he also has had 8 assists. Seth Curry, 2 of 4 from 3, 4 of 7 from the floor. He also has 10 points. The Sixers as a whole shooting 61% from the floor, 52% from three, and the Wizards just haven't been able to match that whatsoever, especially from three. They're only shooting 7 of 21. Bill makes both free throws. Embiid going up against Daniel Gafford. He takes the double team, spins away from it, takes the one leg fadeaway, and still knocks it down. This is dangerous territory for the Sixers in this respect. They're up by so much. They're dominated by such a degree. Maybe you think about taking Embiid out, especially with the pace in which he plays, the all-out effort in which he plays. You don't want to see him get hurt. His most recent long extended stay off of the court came at the hands of a Wizards game in which he was dominating through three quarters. He had 23 points, and the Sixers were on their way to a blowout victory. Yet he hyperextended his knee and it kept him out for 3 weeks. So to see that and know that, maybe Doc Rivers should think about taking him out. He's playing at an optimal level in ways in which is MVP worthy. But this game, at this point, with 4 minutes left in the third, is virtually out of reach. The Sixers, in my opinion, could could look to spell Embiid as much as they can. Maybe Doc is trying to go through three quarters, but when I look at how easy the Sixers have been able to score, even without Embiid, it makes me wonder should they take him out. As I say that, Seth Curry knocks in another three-point shot. This time set up from attention that came with Embiid in the post. He was able to kick it out to Seth. Seth now with 13 points. Ish Smith takes a three. He misses it. Rebounded by George Hill. Hill has got limited minutes tonight. Sixers have used their starting five for the majority of this game. 10 on the shot clock, and Embiid thought about a three, kicks it to Curry. Curry guarded by Bertans. 4 on the shot clock. He finds George Hill wide open for three, and that's just a defensive breakdown. I think so much attention has been geared toward what Embiid is doing that the Sixers are just finding open spots at will right now. Smith thinking about a three, takes the three, makes the three. So that's a rare sight for Ish Smith and the Wizards so far tonight. Simmons looking to push and get early offense. Finds Seth Curry. Seth Curry with the floater, able to knock it down over Daniel Gafford. So that push by Ben Simmons, he won't get the assist, but the push and pressure he just put on the Wizards defensively is what allows Seth Curry to get that up fake and run. Simmons drawing and kicking to Curry. Seth Curry rims out on the three, but he was wide open. Ben Simmons actually got that pass right to him as he's falling out of bounds. Sixers up by 23, 105 to 82 as we approach 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Joel Embiid's dominance cannot go overstated tonight. Ish Smith looking to probe. He stops and thinks about it as he sees Embiid in the paint. He misses the jumper, rebounded by Ben Simmons. Simmons looking to probe, gets into the paint off of a tough contact. And we get an and one opportunity as Simmons going right at Anthony Gill. Gill couldn't stop the momentum of Simmons. And the layup came with ease as he's able to work left and finish back with that right hand. Simmons in the series, 0 of 8 at the free throw line. So despite how dominant he's been as an all-around player, the free throw line just has not been his friend right now. He misses another free throw, but the tap out by Dwight Howard, who comes in for Joel Embiid, goes right to Simmons. So 4 on the shot clock. Seth Curry has to get a shot up. Pull-up jumper. Thought he was fouled. No call. Rebounded by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook looking to find Gill. Takes contact from Curry. No call. Simmons gets the steal. Finds George Hill. Hill recently just knocked in a three-point shot from the right wing. He goes, probes out to the three-point line, throws an alley-oop set up for Ben Simmons, and he slams it home. So the Sixers take a 27-point lead with 127 left in the third quarter, 109 to 82. This is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. 120 left in the third. Sixers lead the Wizards 109-82. Bradley Beal looking to get a shot up over George Hill under duress. Tough step back. He knocks it down. Tough step back. He knocks that down. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook tonight have had to carry a heavy burden for this Wizards team as the regular season has called for the same. When you look at what Bill's been able to do this year, he continues to score at a prolific rate. Tonight, 23 points in 30 minutes, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, only 1 of 5 from 3. Bill came into this playoff with a hamstring strain, but he came back in the final regular season game against the Charlotte Hornets. The Wizards were able to defeat the Hornets in comeback fashion. He scored 18 points in the second half to help lead the Wizards into the eighth spot, which solidified their place in the play-in, which allowed for them to get two opportunities to get one win and solidify the eighth seed. They lost that first game in blowout fashion to the Boston Celtics, in which Jason Tatum scored 50 points, taking over in that second half. But the Wizards came back in the second game of the play-in, playing the Indiana Pacers, and completely and thoroughly dominated the Pacers. Bill, very efficient in the second half, scoring at will and really putting the Wizards in position to play for something. This this matchup with the Sixers is definitely an overmatch. It's but so much they could really do considering the personnel that they have. But again, everybody's victories aren't always the same. And while the Wizards probably will go home in a sweep, I think that when you consider what they had to overcome to even get to the AFC, this is a success with the personnel. Now, next year, the expectations will be much higher because you're gonna have 1 year together with Bill and Westbrook, knowing that Scotty Brooks has had Westbrook now for 8 seasons as a head coach, going back to his time at Oklahoma City, knowing how to coach those two specifically, getting the most out of this Westbrook window, knowing that he's 32 years old. Um, it's definitely going to be more expectations next year, but I think specifically centered around 2021, knowing that this Wizards season was a success. Shake Milton into the game. He's looking to close out. He kicks out to Furkan Korkmaz. The three is no good. Westbrook gets the rebound and heaves it at the buzzer. Wasn't able to knock it down, but we go into the fourth with the Sixers leading by 23. 109-86. This is game 3 of the first round matchup between the Wizards and Sixers. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube. Welcome back as the Philadelphia 76ers now lead the Wizards 111-86. Joel Embiid with a playoff career high 36 points, very efficient from the field. The Sixers have gotten spectacular performance all around, especially from their starting five, which has put them in position to have this lead and rest Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris still in the game, mostly facilitating right now. Sets up Dwight Howard for alley-oop slam off the pick and roll. Westbrook trying to get inside. We get a goaltend as Dwight tried to block that. Wasn't quite in time, but more so than anything, sometimes, especially when you're up by so much, goaltends more so send a message to let them know that nothing will be easy. So although Dwight gave up 2 points, he definitely played his role like he's supposed to in being an anchor inside. Shake Milton, limited minutes tonight. He's getting in the game during garbage time. Nevertheless, this is definitely valuable minutes. He'll be asked to be utilized, especially going against the likes of Milwaukee or Brooklyn if the Sixers get past the Atlanta Hawks or New York Knicks in the second round. Westbrook takes a left wing three, misses it long off of the back rim, rebounded by Tobias Harris. Harris has rebounded at an exceptional rate tonight. Harris with 13 rebounds, 20 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. In the post, Harris thought about a mid-range deflected by Bill. Westbrook looking to push, kicks it to Ish Smith, Smith goes to Neto. Neto takes the three. He misses it. So offensively, the Wizards have been running solid offense. They've been getting quality shots. They just can't knock down the three right now. From three, the Wizards are 8 of 27. Under 10 minutes to play. Harris on the on the block against Bradley Beal. Couldn't get that to fall. Rebounded by Beal. Beal looks to work off the spin. Tough defense by Matisse Thybulle. And he's fouled. And he fouls Bradley Beal. If you look at Joel Embiid, I mentioned earlier in the game, especially when we reach the latter parts of that third quarter, the dominance that we've seen from Embiid has lended itself to the blowout fashion that we saw. And maybe I thought that Doc should take him out and preserve him, especially considering his history and injuries in terms of and just being able to endure at the latter parts of the playoffs. This is the ideal situation for Doc Rivers, and knowing that this game is virtually out of reach, unless the miraculous happens and the Sixers just completely unravel, as we see a couple of turnovers here by Shake Milton, tough defense by Ish Smith to force that charge. But if you're Doc Rivers, to be able to rest Ben Simmons, to rest Embiid down the stretch, there's 9:24 left. This is the type of game that you want to see, especially in a game three on the road, to set the tone and really put the clamps on this series. Ben Simmons guarding Tobias Harris fouls uh, fouls Harris in the post. Obviously, Westbrook, an emotional player, doesn't agree with the call. On that previous basket for Robin Lopez, Westbrook gets the triple double: 24 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Westbrook, known for the triple double, he leads all NBA players in NBA history with 183 triple doubles. And another turnover for the Sixers, this time an offensive foul against Tobias Harris. So if you're the Wizards with 9:07 left, you know this game is virtually over, right? But you have to build on it and use these 9 minutes to positive, uh, build a positive outlook going into Game 4. So you got to set short-term goals. Can you cut this to 15, 13, with 5 minutes left? Can you look to make it competitive enough to maybe bring Ben Simmons in to try to finish it out? Those are the type of things you want to do to try to salvage this game. The first quarter was close. Sixers were up by 8. Going into the half, Sixers were up 14. But knowing the detriment that you have at the personnel and the lack of skill in certain respects against this high-powered team like Philadelphia, you got to still try to find reasons to compete at a high level. So those short-term goals, if you're the Wizards, is something that you should look towards. Westbrook in the post is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. Westbrook has played an exceptional game despite the score. Westbrook, as I mentioned, a triple-double tonight, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. He's playing on an injured ankle that he sprained twice, or that he tweaked twice in the previous game 2 on the road. But tonight, 50% from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3, 25 points. I mentioned 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Full 4 at the free throw line. He makes both free throws. So now with 26 points. His backcourt mate Bradley Beal also playing a tough game. 10 of 23 from the floor, but it's not for lack of efficiency. He's getting good shots. He's playing within the offense. 1 of 7 from 3. That's really his only flaw right now, but he still has 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Beal takes a 3. He misses it short. That 3-point line has not been his friend throughout this series. And Beal usually known to be a surefire 3-point shooter on the season, but right now it just hasn't been able to fall. So Tyrese Maxey probes the paint, gets a floater inside. Timeout, Scott Brooks, 7:46 remaining. Sixers lead 117-94. Stay tuned for the final finishes of this Game 3 between the Philadelphia 76ers and Washington Wizards. Welcome back as we finish up this game three between the Washington Wizards and Philadelphia 76ers. In game three, the Sixers are dominating 117 to 94, really at the behest of paint work between Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Both players have been able to get to the paint at will, and in doing so, the pressure that they generate in attacking has opened up the three-point opportunities for a Sixers team that has depth. They've been able to maximize the unit that they have, and Doc Rivers is maximizing this team's ability, at least to this point. We'll see what this Sixers team does going forward in the second round and potentially in the third round, depending on if they go up against the Hawks or Knicks in the second round. But in that Eastern Conference Finals matchup, they'll go against the likes of the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks. So both those and or the Milwaukee Bucks. So both of those teams will definitely challenge each facet of this Sixers team strength. The depth, they'll challenge them in the paint, and also the shooting that the Sixers uh, have developed and acquired over the last couple of months coming into this season. Uh, they'll be challenged to knock down those threes under pressure because Ben Simmons' lack of shooting will put the Sixers at a disadvantage to some degree. Can the likes of Danny Green and Tobias Harris and Seth Curry and even to some degree Shake Milton knock down threes to keep this Sixers team in a position to battle for a championship? If they can't knock down the threes at that level, then the pressure would be on Joel Embiid to score every single time. And as I mentioned throughout, his the fatigue factor that comes with his style of play has definitely been a challenge over the years. And if they're not able to knock it down, it potentially could be a challenge against those teams. But right now, they don't have to worry about that. Tyrese Maxey knocks in the mid-range shot. We approach 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Wizards with 94 points are trying as much as they can to try to, battle, but they're overmatched. That's just the reality. Maxey getting some valuable playoff minutes, especially as a rookie. He definitely had some very big games, especially dealing with COVID. He stepped up big against the Denver Nuggets early in the season with a 30-point game, and then he also had another 30-point game at the latter part of the season as well. So two 30-point games for a rookie, and Maxey showing glimpses of what he could potentially be. Obviously, the the guard position for the Sixers is really stacked. Outside of Ben Simmons, you got Seth Curry, you got Tobias Harris, also who's a forward, but he plays. He plays the alternate ball handler as well when Ben is out. There's different guards here. Also, Shea Milton, but for Maxi to get in where he fits in and plays at a high level whenever he's called upon, understanding his role and keeping his energy high, his mind engaged in the game. It shows the professionalism that he has, and it shows the culture that the Sixers team has to keep everybody involved despite not always seeing playing time. Matisse Thybulle attacking Robin Lopez couldn't finish the dunk. Rebounded by Rui Hachimura. He should have been called for the travel there. They let him get away with it, and it's a steal by Korkmaz. And we got another offensive foul as Dwight Howard called for the moving screen. Wasn't quite set there, and he sent Hachimura flying. So if you're Doc Rivers, this is the ideal situation that you want to have. In control, up 25. We approach 5 minutes remaining. You're able to go into the depths of your bench, get some playing time, get some experience, get some film from all players involved. Mike Scott is even into the game for the Sixers. Dwight Howard handling the basketball. Matisse Thybulle with the ball. This particular lineup on the floor should be looking to find a potential go-to guy. Who can they run the offense through with this lineup on the floor? I know you won't normally see this group on the floor: Maxey, Dwight Howard, Mike Scott, Korkmaz, and Thybulle all together. But if at any time that this group or some of this personnel is on the floor, can they find a guy that they can run the offense through and get a particular rhythm? Now, the starting five for the 76ers run very seamless. They have an exceptional record when they play together. They've been able to play well off each other. They have the floor spacing, they have the shooting, the interior presence, obviously, with Embiid, who's been able to run roughshod over the league when he's in the game. But there's been times where Embiid heads to the bench, Harris heads to the bench, or Simmons heads to the bench. And there's players coming in that don't necessarily know what to do on the floor, or the lineups that are on the floor don't really have a consistent go-to guy that they can run offense through to spell minutes. Uh, but the Sixers have been able to overcome those issues and have the number one seed in the East. Uh, but this is playoff basketball. It's a little different. The pressure rises, the expectations definitely increase, and because of the home court advantage that the Sixers have, they're definitely going to be challenged by everyone and have to bring their best on a consistent basis. Rui Hachimura inside has it stolen by Therese Maxey. 122 to 96, four-count Kokomo for three. He knocks it down. So this Sixers team has been knocking down threes at such a clip that this game was really never in doubt. Tonight, 15 of 30, 16 of 31 from three, shooting close to 52% from three, from the floor, 61%. Raul Neto shooting a three, can't knock it down. Gill with the offensive rebound, can't finish. Rui Hachimura gets the offensive rebound, and the Wizards are fighting to get to 100 right now. They miss another three-point shot. Tonight, just 8 of 32 from three. Timeout called by Doc Rivers. 3:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Sixers in control, looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. The final 3:44 to play here in the fourth. The 76ers lead the Wizards 125 to 96. Shake Milton attacks the paint and he's fouled. The 76ers tonight shooting exceptionally well, 61%, 52% from three, 45 rebounds compared to 38 for the Wizards. The assist differential has definitely played a huge part as well. 30 assists for the Sixers compared to 18 for the Wizards. They forced turnovers, the total turnovers on both sides. Actually, the Sixers have more turnovers than the Wizards, but the Wizards haven't been able to capitalize to the same level as Philadelphia. Philadelphia has 14 points off turnovers compared to 8 for the Wizards. We look at the points in the paint. Points in the paint for Philadelphia, 10-point advantage as well, 48 to 38. That comes from the dominance of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, both combined for 50 points tonight, 14 for Ben Simmons, 7 of 10 from the floor, 9 assists tonight. Embiid, 36 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and shooting 14 of 18 from the floor. Just a virtuoso performance, magnum opus level performance. It's his career high in terms of the playoffs. And I think if you're Doc Rivers, like I said, considering the matchup and knowing how as the overwhelming favorite that you are to come on the road and dominate, and then have Embiid potentially sit out the entire fourth quarter, this is the ideal game that you want to have and build towards, especially with Game 4 coming up on Monday. You have an opportunity to finish, so you need to finish it. The most recent sweep that we saw, the first of the postseason, came from Milwaukee sweeping the Miami Heat earlier today. And we got a foul against Shake Milton. If you're Scotty Brooks, this is just par for the course right now, especially with a young team. Obviously, you have Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, but the rest of the team definitely needs more experience. They need more need more challenges to really bring out what their roles will potentially be on a team with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. The the recent months in which this team finished 17-6 to get them in the postseason. You saw those those roles start to reveal themselves. And to be quite honest with you, those were playoff type of games that the Wizards had to win, regardless of competition. But when you are the eighth seed, you're going to go against the absolute best of the conference. And right now, this year, that's Philadelphia. Uh, if you're the Wizards, though, to see what Bill and Westbrook were able to accomplish together in year one with all the challenges that came with the season, COVID related, injury related, you definitely have some promise. The thing now is you have to determine what who is staying and who will be going to complement those two uh, players. 130 to 103. Basket was scored by the Wizards. Shake Milton crossover dribble looking to get inside. Milton hasn't really been in rhythm tonight. He's played sparingly. The Sixers had to build the lead up before he could actually get in the game. He's gotten called for a number of offensive fouls, had some turnovers, but he's trying to be aggressive and be the scoring option on the floor right now. Garrison Matthews in limited time this season has definitely provided some energy for this Wizards team. He just plays very sparingly. He came into this season on the two-way contract, earned a full-time contract the rest of the season, and again has provided energy. He's knocked down some key three-point shots when the Wizards have desperately needed it, but for some reason he's just not in the rotation for Scott Brooks on a consistent basis. Raul Neto trying to get inside, couldn't quite get that floater to fall. And we're under a minute to play. Mike Scott, who previously just knocked in a three-point shot from the left corner, trying to get a dribble hand off to Korkmaz. Korkmaz gets the basketball, kicks it to Scott. Scott for three, misses it off the back rim. Paul Reed gets the rebound but couldn't finish. So 40 seconds remaining. Wizards looking to get cosmetic points at this point. Can't knock in the three for Garrison Matthews, and that should about do it. As the Sixers will go into Game 4 with a 3-0 lead on this series, 132 to 103. A dominant performance from the Sixers on all fronts. The balance in the starting five was amazing. You get 36 points from Embiid, 20 points from Tobias Harris, 8 of 14 from the floor for Harris, 15 points for Danny Green, 5 of 9 from 3. 14 points for Ben Simmons, 9 assists for Ben Simmons, 5 rebounds. Seth Curry, 6 of 11 from the floor, 15 points, 3 of 6 from 3. From the bench, not much to speak on in terms of the contribution scoring wise, but Dwight Howard came in and provided some great minutes, 16 points. He got 9 rebounds, 3 or 4 from the free throw line uh, for Dwight Howard. Matisse Thybulle, 18 minutes, great defense as always. And then you have to add in also George Hill provided some minutes as well. 18 minutes, 2 of 2 from the floor. He hit a three-pointer as well. If you're the Wizards, you had a spectacular game from Russell Westbrook, 9 of 18 from the floor, 10 assists, 12 rebounds, 26 points in 34 minutes, especially on a tweaked ankle that he suffered in game 2, but it just was too much for this Wizards team. Bradley Beal, second leading scorer in the NBA, 10 of 26 from the floor, 1 of 8 from 3, 25 points. He tried everything he absolutely could to try to keep this Wizards team in it, but they're just overmatched. So when you think about that and what this series has to offer coming into Game 4, that'll be this Monday at 7 p.m. We'll be here to cover it. The Wizards just have to try to save face. You don't want to get swept. You want to try to leave an imprint on this postseason as best you can. The Wizards' best chance to win the game could have potentially have been that Game 1 where it really came down to the wire. But the Sixers have just gotten really comfortable with how the Wizards are defending them. They're getting quality shots. They don't really feel much restriction, and in doing so now, uh, the Sixers look to move on to the second round where they will potentially play the New York Knicks or Atlanta Hawks. This is Ask Isaiah Rose. You just finished listening to the Washington Wizards and Philadelphia 76ers game 3. Again, the final score tonight 132 to 103. Leading scorer Joel Embiid 36 points, 14 of 18 from the floor, just completely dominated. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching. Peace.